Okay, so the Divi team is just actually killing it right now. So they came out with the option-based class approach, but now they're doing something new. They've actually just announced that they're going to allow Divi design variables. So we have to get into this and break this down because this is actually really huge. Like this is a feature that I have been waiting for like such a long time. And the fact that they're actually like going to implement this is actually making Divi sound like a viable option for building a high quality website for people who are more used to advanced workflows. There's some things that I feel like are just almost inevitable that they won't be able to get through, but this feature is just quite cool. So let's just get into it. So, I'm here to give you a sneak peek at a feature coming soon to Divi 5. With Divi 5's foundation complete, we're now focused on aggressive feature development with new features in the works as part of Divi 5 feature swap. Every time we finish a feature, we start working on a new one. And every time we start working on a new feature, I'm going to tell you about it. Earlier this week, we released option group presets. So we actually tested this, and that's actually really cool. But one thing that I pointed out in that video was that it was weird when you have to do your option group presets in a way where it's like, okay, I want my heading to be this size. But then in mobile, you have to jump in and say, okay, now I have to switch to tablet and redefine that heading one. Okay, now I have to switch to mobile and redesign that heading one. And although it's better than the old system, it just wasn't it wasn't the best way they could have done this. And one thing that I've noticed about the Elegant Themes team is that, I mean, I don't know if this is just the Divi 5 or if they've just always been like this, but they are just announcing things so quickly, and it almost seems like they really are listening to the needs of the community and trying to push that forward. Okay, so this is a bold step in a new direction for Divi and an essential part of Divi 5's design system, which we are building to satisfy the needs of advanced web designers. Okay, so I think I literally mentioned this in the last video that it was just going to be really difficult to get people who um, not to get people, but to satisfy the needs of people who have worked on more capable design platforms. But it almost seems that Divi is really trying to go out and actually fix the issues that were um, occurring with Divi. And I feel like if they can actually pull this off, they might actually be able to go in there and be a competitor to something like Elementor. I'm not, I don't really know if Bricks is who they're fighting against because one of the features and most important, I guess, elements of Bricks is that their HTML output is actually a clean output. So they're not adding all of their extra classes on top of their HTML. So like with the Divi, like you have the ETPB row, ETPB column, whereas in Bricks, it just works in divs and it outputs clean HTML. But nevertheless, this is the direction that Divi 5 should move in, and they're killing it. So let's just keep going. I'm not gonna watch the video, but if you want to go watch the video, that's gonna be on their channel. So let's just go to what are design variables. So thanks to Divi global color system, you should already be familiar with the concept of design variables. Global colors are a type of design variable. They are data saved in your database. In this case, colors that can be used throughout the website. Of course, we know we can do that. We can set, I think they give you like 5 options, but this is a little bit different. So now what you can do here is you can have like rounded corners and then a value of 20 pixels, rounded corners big and a value of 40 pixels, website content width, and you can go in and edit this however you want. And there's already templates online that will do this for you, and all you'll have to do is copy and paste this into your website. And I'm sure there's going to be a way to save this so that you can use it across multiple sites. At least I hope that there's going to be a way, even if Divi doesn't build it directly in. There's going to be tools like ZipWP that are going to do that. So with the introduction of Divi design variables, you won't be limited to global colors. You can define global anything. You can define variables for colors, units, strings, fonts, and images. These variables can be plugged into module settings and presets. So what I'm almost like not confused about I guess confused about how this is going to work. So you name something like rounded corners 3 and you give it a value of 20 pixels, but I'm not sure if I can visualize how this is actually going to work on like the site. Like it's not going to automatically know that you mean this as a border radius. So like, how are we going to apply these global variables? I guess when they release, we'll find out how they're going to do it. Yeah, I don't see how that's how the builder's going to know. I guess they already have that. Okay. When you change a variable, it gets updated across your entire website. That makes designing with variables very efficient. Furthermore, all of Divi's input fields in the settings panel will be updated to support variables and dynamic content. So I think this mixed with the advanced CSS units is just going to be just pretty darn good. I think it's going to be really good. So designing with Divi, designing with variables. How will design variables be used? In so many ways. For example, let's consider number variables. Okay. So of course, this is like our sizing. Okay. And I guess I guess they're showing us here. So we'll have the theme global numbers. Oh, they actually spelled numbers wrong here. Okay. And yeah, they did. That's funny. So I guess it's just gonna like you're gonna apply. I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work, but because it's is it gonna show you the list of every single variable or yeah, I don't know. Is it gonna let you choose? Like this is for H1, H2, H3. I'm not sure how they're gonna do this. Okay, so you can create a balancing sizing system for your website using a few number variables within your default presets. Define variables for your large, medium, and small font sizes and plug those variables into your presets and modules. If you ever want to change the size of your fonts, you only have to edit the variables. Thank God. Like, oh, it's just like obviously, but I guess it's better late than never. But obviously, this is how you want to update websites quicker. Like, it's just such a better process, and I'm really glad that they're really listening to the community. It's just like it's great. Are you using the same border radius value on dozens of elements? Turn that into a number variable. Yes, and then you can easily change your website's border radius. So something I'm confused about, does this work alongside of the option presets or is this its separate thing? I'm assuming it's a separate thing that works together with the option-based presets. Okay, so the same goes for fonts. Define and assign font variables to the title and body text presets with our static models. If you ever want to switch things up and change your website's fonts, you only need to update the variables, not your collection or presets. Certainly not a desperate set of modules on various pages. Sorry, I was just kind of thinking. Okay, so it kind of shows here. What is this? Okay, that's a weird screenshot. I think that's probably a video. Okay. You can also define variables for things like content strings and images. For example, you may have a company. Sorry, this is a little laggy. You might have it's because of this over here, isn't it? Okay. You may have a company phone number, email, or address reference throughout your website. If you turn that into a content variable, updating your company's contact information is easy. Huh, that is that's like a built-in ACF feature. So like let's say I build a variable for like the phone number of my company and I'm going to use this across, you know, many parts of the website. Now I can just update that variable. That's actually a really cool feature. That's almost like a JavaScript type of thing. That's actually really cool. The Divi system is evolving. The design system we're building for Divi 5 is a beautiful thing. Preset-based design and variable management will usher in a new era of web design for Divi users, and you won't have to wait long. Option presets were released a few weeks ago, and variable management isn't far behind. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you have any questions, will the Divi design variables change how you build websites? I want to hear what you think. Obviously. Like, is that even a question? Like, obviously, it's going to change how we build websites. Like, right now in Divi 4, if you want to update text across like different pages, like, good luck. Like, yeah, you can use the presets, but it's just not as efficient. Like, I've noticed it's not as efficient. Like, there's been so many times where I'm creating a website and the options just they don't really work how you expect them to work all the time. Like they're just and maybe I should make a video on this because just building websites like for my job, it's been a pain to just work with the global presets that they have. Like because it's saving to the level of the module and it just doesn't work out. It just doesn't. Okay. And then here's just the update for the presets, the preset-based design for Divi 5. And then we have many more features. So let us know your thoughts in the comments or if you have any questions before you go. I have the favor to ask. We are on a mission to leapfrog the competition in 2025 with dozens of new features, and we want you to know about all of them. That's why you must subscribe to our YouTube. Okay, cool. That's just the spiel. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we should go into Divi 4 and try to mess around with the current way of doing this. Let's look at some of the comments. Let's see what people are thinking. So this will be awesome to have. I hope there is a series of tutorial that guides that comes out with these features explained in detail. Additionally, will there be an easy place to set up all of these at the beginning of the build rather than as you go? I would assume, right? I would assume that you set all of these up before you even start building the page, kind of how like Bricks does it. So this would be part of like the setup process. And I think it'll also just get to the point where you would probably set this up once and then you would just have all of those things just ready to go for the next website you're building. Like that's kind of how I'm thinking. So perhaps a Divi library layout with all the modules, you can set all your presets and options from the jump. Yeah, I assume it's going to work like this. So this could be huge. So here's a question. Will text string variables be available inline to the text? This would be crucial for allowing a set of variables to be used in content. So I would assume as well, inline to the, yeah, I would assume. I don't really understand what he's asking here, I'll be honest. Very nice feature, well done. I'm looking forward to loop modules, now only possible with Divi Machine. It'll be a game changer. Okay? Yeah, that would be pretty cool. And the last one, this sounds great. I watched last week's release video about the group presets and decided to see how Divi 5 felt to use, so I switched to the new theme and half completed staging site. Yikes, it all skewed. Okay. Heading fonts changed throughout, like formatting settings disappeared somewhat, and then it became very glitchy to the point where I couldn't edit any longer. Frozen in edit module, so I reinstalled Divi 4. Still glitchy, so I rolled back a day to a day old backup. Oh, okay, was a bit of a scary experience. We'll wait a bit longer, but love to know why this happened. Okay, so this is weird. So, and this is something that I felt like was inevitable, that when you go from Divi 4 to Divi 5, I don't know. It almost seems like they like if you change the architecture that much of how your builder is going to be working, I almost don't even see how Divi 4 websites are going to work on Divi 5. Like I almost don't even see how. Like I feel like it's never gonna load over perfectly. Like I guess I'll have to test this and do this on video, but I just don't feel like Divi 4 websites are gonna work perfectly in Divi 5 just because there's so many fundamental differences under the hood. Like I know they moved away from shortcodes. I don't know if this is just in the editor itself or if this has to do with the code output as well. But there has to be something different they're doing with the code output in order to get that higher or that faster website speed. There has to be something working in the engine of the builder itself differently and the way they're outputting their code. So it almost seems like to me when you pour over a Divi 4 website to Divi 5, I just don't think it's going to work exactly the same. I have no idea. If you have different opinions or thoughts, put them down below. But yeah, this is a big step up. Like they're really listening to the community and it's pretty cool to be a part of this process. I do wish it was already done and I could just start building websites. I think though I'm gonna go ahead and start building websites with Divi 5. Probably not the best idea, but I just feel like I'll probably just give it a shot and like as I go, if it was a mistake, it was a mistake. But um I don't know, it's weird using Divi 4 knowing that it's not the future. Like it's weird building new websites for clients using Divi 4 knowing well that I don't think the Divi 4 websites are going to play nicely with Divi 5. Like I just don't think they are. Like I don't know that there's an amount of engineering that they can even do to make that the case. And it's weird. It's like a balance between maybe I should just hold off and use a different builder for now until they can go in and fix all this, or maybe I should just go for it and just start building websites. They've said that the only thing coming to the beta is going to be the Woo modules, and that it's pretty much ready to build websites. I mean, as we've seen in the last video, the buttons are just absolutely cracked. And yeah, it's just, we'll have to see how this goes. I do wish that in this video they would have let us actually test something out instead of just getting a blog post. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what Divi decides to do and how it's gonna work inside of the workflow. And when they do, I'll be here reviewing it. So that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to hop into Divi 5 this time around, but I think they're moving in the right direction, and it's nice to see that Elegant Themes is actually listening to their community and the current changes in how page builders work. And I truly think it's going to pay off.